evening. Welcome to News Channel 8. I'm Jerome Aegean, and we have a late-breaking story for you. Two men attempted to burglarize a home in Tide Village. We go there now with Wes Small.
News Channel 8 just rolled on a breaking story. As you can see, some police units in the area of Tide Village. Details are still sketchy, but here's what we know. At least two individuals are in custody this afternoon as they tried to break into a house up in this area. Because of privacy and because a caretaker is at the residence now still shaky, we're not going to go up there. But here's what we know happened. At least two individuals tried to break into a home. Either they were interrupted by the family at the house, the caretaker, or they tripped an alarm. We'll try to get the officials later on to concur. But the police chased the individuals in the bushes, so right now they're just charged with trespassing. They did not get the chance to burglarize the home. So that is good news. There's still police units in the area of Tide Village. As you can see from this file footage, some of the footage of the police units in the area. We just talked to Police Chief Oakland Benta. We'll try to get to him with some more details on this situation. It's just ongoing. Again, in Tide Village, we have two individuals in custody trespassing. They didn't have the chance to burglarize the home. That is good news. They are in custody right now. If we have any more information on this breaking story, we'll give it to you by the time that Jerome, you do this story. So for now, that's what we have. I'm in Tide Village, and I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
And in other news, it was the end of the 27th Legislature. News Channel 8's Wes Small catches up with Terrence Positive Nelson with an overview.
Well, the 27th Legislature has gone bush. That's right. That's just about over as they have recessed. I'm here now with the chairperson of Finance, Terrence Positive Nelson, who's going to give a brief overview on the last 2 years, I guess, and things like that. Positive. Happy holidays, of course, to you, your staff, and your family. And what's the announcement that you want to come out with this evening?
Well, as you know, the legislature went Sinodai just a couple of days ago, and there's a lot of talks right now in the media relative to whether or not we should have gone Sinodai, what's going on with the financial conditions. The governor sent down on session day, that morning of session day, the governor sent down an updated 2009 budget. So I just wanted to give just a brief overview of what occurred during this 2009 fiscal year, and it's very much summarized. The governor's team and the governor executive branch sent down a submission in the budget book. In that submission, there was a total of $867,257,000. That was the total budget. The legislature, seeing what was happening with the property taxes, etc., passed a reduced budget. After hearing on September of this year, that was in May, the governor sent down the submission. In September, during the budget wrap-up, they gave a new projection of $881 million in expenditures and revenue collections. The legislature, being conservative, because we found out that there was some activity going on relative to the court orders, and the administration did not send out any of the property taxes, which they could have sent out and still can send out at the rates of 1998. They did not send out, so that was going to impact the revenue collections of $881 million. We, the legislature, the 27th legislature, passed a budget of $842.8 million. To be precise, $842,824,594. That was when the budget was passed prior to October 1st of this year. When we met with the financial team, because as you know, they don't usually close out at the end of the year as they should, we met with them in November, and they told us that they had a revised revenue projection. It was reduced to some $838.4 million. What that indicates to us is that we, the 27th legislature, over appropriated by some $5.8 or $5.4 million. In the governor's revised projection, which came on December 1st, they have revised the spending. They have reduced the miscellaneous expenditures from $142 to $120 million. They have increased the departments and agencies' expenditures from $564 million to $581 million. The other agencies have remained the same, and it gave a total expenditure now of $838.4 million. I think was necessary.
Paz, you lost me at 800 something million. Let's face it, man, we're getting sleepy here.
Well,
You're putting me to sleep. What does this all mean?
Well, what this means is because in the media you're hearing that it appears that the legislature made an error in their appropriations. If we made an error, it's totally based on the miscalculations of the executive branch relative to giving the revenue projections. Okay. So I'm just giving an overview as to what's being said and giving accurate information as to what actually occurred. And there's a realignment of $45 million that occurred in the update. That means they shifted expenditures from one area to the next of some $45 million that occurred. But
in layman's terms, is that good for us or bad? The little guy. What does that mean tonight for us, the viewer who's watching this?
In layman terms, it means this. If we maintain our expenditure level even at the prior fiscal year, even though there were plans and proposals for this current year, which we may not be able to accommodate because of the influxes in revenue collections, we'll be all right. I don't agree with them putting out the scare tactics as if we won't have money to pay salaries, etc., etc., etc. I'm telling the public that the Virgin Islands generate enough revenue, and if need be, there is cash in the bank where the government can subsidize this year's budget by taking just a little amount to help the supplement if need be. So don't be alarmed. It is up to, I'm not certain if the governor is going to call us in special session to deal with the bond issue, which we felt as a legislature, because of the variables which now exist in the market, we don't feel that we need to rush. They feel like to grab an opportunity, but a better opportunity may come in a month or two when Senator-elect Barack Obama takes office. So it's no big rush. So we don't feel we should rush with the $400 million. Yes, exactly. And the updated budget is not a real urgency either, because they have the authority to continue on the prior year's budget. Our budget was passed. If it's out of whack, then the budget director has discretion anyway. So I just want to alleviate some of the concerns as it's alarm, like, oh, people might get sent home, etc., etc. I think it was important to say that. And I also want to tell the public that keep hope alive. The 27th legislature recently rededicated the Transportation Trust Fund to repair the roads. It's $16.5 million, and that's a good thing. So I want them to keep the pressure up. Governor signed it into law. It's the right and responsible thing to do.
You and the governor okay?
I'm here to work on behalf of the people of the Virgin Islands.
All right. If you had to, let's wrap this up with this. If you had to give a grade to the 27th legislature, A to F, what would it be?
Progressive.
I didn't know that was one of the options. Here with Senator Positive Nelson, I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8. You got me.
Thanks, Wes. And stay with us. We have more news after the break.